Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Now at 6, a major break in a case that left a family in limbo for nearly a year. New Haven police say 2 people have been arrested on murder charges in a homicide that happened last year. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Hart.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Fox 61's Raven Blue has the details from New Haven Police Headquarters.
After nearly a year of heartache and unanswered questions, a grieving family is one step closer to seeing justice. 2 arrests have been made in the homicide case of Miguel Rivera. New Haven police announced Wednesday afternoon 2 arrests in the killing of Miguel Rivera last year in the city. Police say Rivera's body was found face down in a stream near Hemingway and Eastern Streets. An autopsy later revealed he had been strangled. Police say through advanced technology and with the help of the community, they were able to identify and arrest 2 suspects.
Anna M. Gonzalez, 5'11", of New Haven, has been charged with the following: murder, conspiracy to commit murder, felony murder, robbery in the 2nd degree. And a second suspect, Anthony Horvath Rodriguez, date of birth 2/16/97, of New Haven, was also charged with murder, conspiracy murder, felony murder, and robbery in the 2nd degree.
Both have been taken into custody and each are being held on $2 million bonds. The Rivera family is asking for continued privacy at this time. During the press conference, New Haven Mayor Justin Elliker stressed that if anyone takes a life in the city of New Haven, they will be found and held accountable. In New Haven, Raven Blue, Fox 61.
Raven, thanks. Dozens of protesters rallied this afternoon in support of people in Connecticut detained by immigration officials in recent days. Take a look at the scene an hour ago outside the courthouse in New Haven. There were ICE raids in Meridan and Southington this week, and new tonight, we are learning a woman in New Haven was taken by ICE on Monday in the Hill neighborhood. New Haven Police Chief Carl Jacobson says it happened in front of the woman's children. He says the children are with a family member right now. Mayor Justin Elliker spoke this afternoon and says one of his main concerns is that ICE is not notifying the city about the raids before they happen.
God forbid New Haven Police Department gets called because there's some folks that are in masks that don't identify themselves, that try to arrest someone we don't know about it, and there's some conflict. And in the past, police department has worked very closely with the federal government, and if the federal government does some sort of action, they notify us in advance to protect our own police officers. So it's concerning to me that we're starting to see that kind of activity in the city.
Now, coming up tonight on the Fox 61 News at 10, we'll have much more on this afternoon's protests. We'll also speak to someone who knows the woman in New Haven who was detained by ICE.
Protesters stood in solidarity this morning in Meridan. They were out to support the 16-year-old boy who was detained by ICE just days before he was supposed to graduate high school. Maloney High School's graduation was yesterday, and some students told Fox 61 one seat was noticeably empty. Meridan Public Schools released a statement last Friday that said a senior and his father were detained at an immigration hearing in Hartford. Right now, they're in a detention center in Texas. Officials are not releasing his name because it could put his legal case in jeopardy. City leaders are trying to bring the student back to Connecticut, and tonight we're learning more about what kind of person he is.
I didn't know him personally, but I knew some of his friends, and I know from them that he was an amazing person, a hardworking student, and he definitely deserves to walk that stage yesterday, and he deserved to get that diploma yesterday.
The president of the Meridan Board of Education says they plan to honor him when he is released from federal custody. In the meantime, Maloney High School is offering counseling support for students and families who were impacted by the situation. Well, a wild scene here. A car crashes into a New Britain cemetery before it bursts into flames, but the driver and passengers are nowhere to be found. It all happened just a few hours after midnight. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson went to the crash site, and he met with one neighbor who was woken up by all the commotion.
Earlier Wednesday morning, a car came barreling through this gate at St. Mary's Cemetery in New Britain. A neighbor I spoke with showed us video of the aftermath.
This is the scene Wednesday morning inside the cemetery. Jason Bartone lives across the street.
I look out the window and see a fire. Notice that there's a car flipped over, and first instinct was to pack up everything, get dressed and get everybody into a safe position since we were so close to the fire.
Bartone says he and his sister wanted to help the people inside the car, but says they ran away.
And then when we saw the individuals start running down the fence line, we knew that they were just going to abandon it. So.
Police and fire marshals say no one was hurt. When they got to the crash, they say no one was there.
They were just scrambling to get whatever they could. It was what it looked like, and then they just took off. Investigators
did not say where they think the driver and passengers may have gone. As a result of the crash, several graves were damaged.
I did meet the lady that owned these earlier today. She's just more worried about, it's a whole disrespect issue when it comes to graves. It's a very deep subject for most people. I think that's the most harm that came out of this was the disrespect for the dead.
Bartone says it's not uncommon for people to speed on this street.
It is almost a straightaway, and there's one side of it is completely cemetery, so people tend to use that as a highway.
The scene is still unsettling to Jason and his family.
It is a very traumatic experience. I was pretty calm most of the time, but it is very jarring to get woken up by an almost explosion 20 feet from you. I just hope they find the people that did this and bring a little justice to the families that took a huge loss on this.
Now, police tell us the New Britain Fire Marshal's office will be taking over the crash investigation, and we'll update you when we learn more. In New Britain, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Jamel, thank you. Middletown officials started talking about installing speed cameras back in January, and the city approved the measure last month. Fox 61's Joe Monty shows us where one camera is up and ready to go.
Speed cameras on Washington Street in Middletown are now active, and if you're caught speeding, get ready to pay up. The first speed cameras in Middletown are installed on Washington Street, but Josh Morgan with the Connecticut Department of Transportation says drivers caught speeding won't be fined just yet.
People who are going to be speeding and they go through one of these areas, they're going to get either a warning or a citation in the mail.
Morgan says that's for the first 30 days. But after the grace period, people going 10 miles an hour or more over the speed limit will get $50 and $75 fines.
Ultimately, we want to see speeds decrease. We want to see the number of crashes decrease. We want to see the number of lives lost on our roads decrease.
Delip Patel manages a gas station on Washington Street. He says the road is very dangerous.
It's too fast. People is going like sky the rocket, like that, look like highway.
Patel says he sees way too many accidents, and he's happy the town installed the cameras. He says he hopes it slows people down.
Absolutely need it, because people, it's too dangerous.
If you're going too fast, the camera will snap a photo of your license plate. The registered owner of the vehicle will get a warning or a ticket in the mail soon after. Morgan says the cameras aren't an excuse to take money from people for the DOT or the state. He says the money stays local in the community and will be used to help fund the cameras and other local town projects.
We would love to see zero revenue generated for any of these towns and cities, because that means people are not speeding, that they're not running red lights, that they're not breaking the law.
He also says to keep an eye out for signs that say the speed limit is photo or camera enforced. You'll find more cameras in the area of the Spencer School Zone around Westfield Street and Bailey Road, and also Country Club Road. Officials are working to make some of Middletown's busiest roads safer. They believe slowing people down will reduce the number of serious accidents in the area. On Washington Street in Middletown, Joe Monty, Fox 61.
And new here at 6, an investigation is underway as we speak at the Stamford courthouse. Officials say a suspicious letter was delivered there this morning. The courthouse has been in lockdown since 11:10 this morning. Hazmat crews are investigating the building. Police have not said what was in the letter. We'll provide updates as they become available to us. Niantic firefighters say 2 car crashes happened on I-395 this morning, just hours apart from each other. Take a look here. The first one happened around 2 a.m. on the north side of the highway. Minor injuries were reported there. And a little more than 9 hours later, another car crashed and rolled over. This one happened on I-395 South just before exit 11. It's unclear what caused that car to roll over. There were also minor injuries reported in that crash.
New developments here. The New Mexico man convicted of murder in a 2008 case in Hartford will spend the next 40 years behind bars. Mark White shot 25-year-old Jamar Joyner multiple times on West Morningside Street nearly 17 years ago. The case went cold until 2017. Police tracked White to New Mexico, where he was already locked up on unrelated charges. A jury found White guilty of murder in March.
We have an update now. New Canaan police say they have arrested the person who stole a car with a dog inside back in February. 19-year-old Alejandro Colon of New Britain faces larceny charges. He's out on bond and due in court June 30th. In late February, this French bulldog named Poppy was left in a running car in downtown New Canaan. Police say Colon stole the car with Poppy still inside. It's reported he drove it to a North Haven gas station. We're told people helped guide officials to find the dog.
Crews are still repairing a street in Wallingford after a water main break. It happened last night around 5:30 on the southbound side of North Colony Road near the Walmart. Connecticut DOT and the Wallingford Water Division were called to begin repairs. The issue caused a bit of a backup on Route 5, and leaders ask that you find an alternate route if you got to drive through the area.